Welcome back. Today we're doing a deep dive into a really striking document, a proclamation against violence and derision. It's signed by Tyson J. Palmer de Gracia Rex.
Yes, it's quite something.
Our mission here is to unpack how this proclamation defines, well, violence and derision in some maybe unexpected ways, and then look at the path it lays out for global unity, especially facing what it terms profound global challenge.
And it sets the stakes high right from the start. The core idea is that our shared human journey, it's currently imperiled.
Imperiled, strong word.
Very. Imperiled by forces actively trying to divide us, harm us, and sort of diminish the human spirit. So the mission stated is absolute opposition to all forms of violence and, crucially, to the cynicism that underpins it, what the document calls derision.
Okay, let's dig into violence first, because the definition here really jumped out at me. It goes way beyond the usual, bullet in the bomb idea.
Absolutely. It moves past just armed conflict or political instability, suggesting some of the most devastating violence isn't necessarily physically immediate like that.
Right. It's not always loud.
Exactly. The proclamation details three major types of non-physical violence. First up is structural violence.
Okay.
This is the violence of, let's say, systemic neglect. Think policies or lack of policies that lead straight to humanitarian crises. People consistently lacking food, clean water, basic care.
So it's violence through inaction, almost, or deliberate neglect baked into the system.
Precisely. It's a policy failure that becomes lethal, often hitting marginalized groups the hardest.
Got it. What's the second type?
That's economic violence. And again, it's not just inequality. The proclamation talks about exploitation so extreme, it actually destabilizes the whole global economy, but benefits, a very small group.
So like wealth extraction on a scale that cripples nations, that's framed as violence.
Yes, an act of aggression against entire populations. It's a bold claim.
It really is.
Right.
And the third?
Environmental violence. Actions against our shared planet, primarily climate degradation, threatening all life.
So structural, economic, environmental, it's a massive intellectual shift, suggesting maybe the greatest violence isn't armies, but policy and neglect.
That's the implication.
So if violence is that broad, that's systemic, what does this document say is the root cause, the engine behind it all?
That brings us to derision. The proclamation labels it the poison of the heart.
Poison of the heart, wow.
Yeah, it argues that all these forms of violence ultimately grow from derision. It's that scorn, that psychological move that allows one person or group to see another as fundamentally lesser.
Okay, but hang on. If you frame derision like cynicism or scorn as the root cause, isn't there a risk? Does that shift focus away from, say, institutions and powerful actors and put it more on individual attitudes?
That's a really important question, and the document tries to address it. It doesn't let institutions off the hook. It argues that widespread derision is what enables institutional failure. That scorn becomes the seed of intolerance, yes, but it's also the excuse leaders use for inaction when facing suffering.
Oh, okay. So it's the cynical voice it mentions, the one saying, oh, cooperation is impossible, peace is just a dream, so why even try?
Exactly that voice. And the proclamation's response is basically, we reject this narrative flat out.
Right. So if derision is the poison, what's the antidote prescribed here? This leads into the call to action, doesn't it?
It does. It sets out a positive path forward. The actions are quite specific.
That's the first one.
An immediate, unequivocal turn towards dialogue and diplomacy. For all conflicts, lay down the arms, it says, and focus on uplifting our common humanity.
Okay, dialogue over bullets. Makes sense. What else?
Second, directly countering that structural neglect, it calls for a global compact of compassion.
A compact of compassion. What does that mean in practice?
It means replacing that derision, that scorn, with active empathy. Practically, it means ensuring global safety nets so no one gets left behind in a humanitarian or economic crisis. It's framed as a duty, not charity.
A duty. Okay. And the third action point, it must relate to the environmental violence part.
Correct. A call for unified, peaceful action to heal the planet. It frames climate change explicitly as a shared existential threat, something that goes way beyond borders or political squabbles.
So diplomacy, compassion, and environmental action, all unified.
Ultimately, the whole thing is presented as a declaration of intent, a statement that unity is strength, compassion is our duty, and peace. Well, peace is the most urgent, most sacred goal we have.
It's a powerful blueprint, demanding change from leaders and citizens.
Putting aside division and destruction.
And, if we really take on board this idea from the proclamation that violence can be structural, stemming from neglect just as much as from bombs, It leaves us with a question, doesn't it? For you, listening right now, how do we start identifying those perhaps more subtle, maybe invisible forms of structural violence in our own communities, in our workplaces, our institutions, even when there are no bullets flying? That investigation, this document suggests, is where building real peace actually begins.